Chosen one, stop scrolling. This message for you. Before this year reaches its final breath, heaven is calling your attention one last time. This moment is not accidental, and this message is not ordinary. Out of all the voices you could be hearing right now, God allowed this one to reach you because your spirit was prepared to receive it. You have come to the end of a demanding season, a year that tested your faith, your endurance, and your identity in ways you never anticipated. And before you step into what is coming next, God wants to settle something in your heart. You were never abandoned, forgotten, or delayed by mistake. This year felt heavy because it was meant to be. It was a season of stripping, not destroying. God removed layers of false security, misplaced trust, and emotional dependence that once felt necessary but were quietly limiting your growth. You entered this year expecting progress to look one way, but God allowed it to look completely different. Plans were interrupted. Relationships shifted. Opportunities disappeared without warning. There were moments when you felt like you were doing everything right, yet nothing was moving forward. But what you could not see then is what God reveals now. He was repositioning you, not punishing you. Chosen one, some of the things that left your life this year had to go because they were tied to an older version of you. They fit the person you used to be, not the person God is shaping you to become. You may have prayed for stability, but God answered with transformation. You asked for peace, and He removed what was disrupting your spirit. You asked for clarity, and He exposed what was confusing you. Even though the process felt painful, it was deeply purposeful. There were nights when you cried in silence, wondering why the burden felt so heavy when your intentions were pure. There were moments you questioned your worth, replayed conversations, and blamed yourself for things that were never your fault. But hear this clearly now. The enemy used isolation to try to break you, but God used it to refine you. In the quiet, you learned how to pray differently. You learned how to listen without demanding answers. You learned how to trust without control. Those lessons could not have been taught in comfort. This year also exposed who was truly aligned with your destiny and who was only comfortable with your convenience. Some people distanced themselves when your growth no longer benefited them. Some relationships faded when you stopped shrinking to keep the peace. That hurt deeply, but it was necessary. God will never allow someone to remain in your life if their presence delays your purpose. Their exit was not rejection, it was protection. And one day you will thank God for the separation you once cried over. Chosen one, the pressure you felt this year was not meant to crush you. Pressure reveals what is inside. It revealed resilience you didn't know you had. It revealed faith that survived disappointment. It revealed obedience that remained even when prayers were unanswered. God was watching how you responded when the blessing was delayed, when the door stayed closed, when the promise seemed distant. And heaven took note every time you chose faith over frustration. There were moments when you wanted to quit, to numb the pain, to walk away from responsibility, or to lower your expectations just to feel relief. But something inside you refused to give up completely. That was not willpower, that was the Spirit of God sustaining you. Even on your weakest days, grace carried you forward. Even when you felt empty, God was still working behind the scenes. As this year comes to an end, God is asking you to release what no longer belongs to you. Release the guilt over mistakes you already repented for. Release the shame attached to seasons you survived but didn't understand. Release the anger toward people who hurt you without apology. Carrying that weight into the new year will only slow what God is ready to accelerate. Forgiveness is not saying what happened was acceptable. It is saying it no longer has authority over your future. Chosen one, you must also forgive yourself. You did the best you could with the understanding you had at the time. Growth often requires making decisions that later reveal what needed healing. God is not disappointed in you. He is proud of how far you've come. He sees the effort no one applauded. He honors the consistency that went unnoticed, and He remembers the prayers you whispered when your faith felt fragile. This year taught you discernment the hard way. You learned that not everyone who speaks faith lives it. You learned that familiarity does not equal loyalty. You learned that some doors close not because you failed, but because you outgrew them. These lessons were not meant to harden your heart, they were meant to sharpen your wisdom. God is preparing you for greater influence, and influence requires discernment. Before the new year begins, understand this. You are not entering it empty-handed. You are carrying strength you did not have before, wisdom earned through experience, and faith that has been tested and proven. The version of you stepping forward is quieter, but stronger, less reactive, but more discerning, less dependent, but more connected to God than ever. Chosen one, take a deep breath. The hardest part is behind you. This year was the preparation, not the promise. And everything God allowed was building the foundation for what is coming next. You are still standing. You are still chosen. And you are more ready than you realize. Chosen one, as you prepare to step into the new year. God is speaking with both love and urgency. What comes next will not look like what you just survived. This next season will move faster, feel heavier, and require more clarity than the last. Because of that, God is asking you to examine what you are carrying right now. Not everything that is familiar is meant to follow you forward. Some things were permitted for a season, but they are not approved for your future. There are habits that once felt harmless but now quietly drain your focus. There are patterns you repeat when you are tired, lonely, or uncertain. God is not condemning you for them, but He is warning you. What you tolerate will determine how far you can go. The doors God is opening will demand discipline, and discipline always requires intentional choices. You cannot enter a new level of spiritual authority while entertaining old distractions that weaken your discernment. This is the season where obedience must become immediate. Delayed obedience will cost momentum. In past seasons, God allowed room for hesitation while you were learning His voice. But now, clarity has increased. When God speaks in the coming season, you will recognize it quickly. The challenge will not be hearing, it will be responding. The enemy knows this, which is why confusion and overthinking have been his primary weapons lately. He wants you doubting instructions that were already confirmed in your spirit. Chosen one, this is also a time of separation. Some relationships will naturally fade, and others will end abruptly. Do not chase what God is removing. Do not beg people to understand what they were never meant to see. Not everyone can handle the version of you that walks in confidence, boundaries, and spiritual authority. Some people only felt comfortable when you were accessible, available, and easily influenced. But God is teaching you that access is not the same as assignment. You may feel lonely at times, even surrounded by people. That does not mean something is wrong. It means God is narrowing your circle to protect your focus. Before promotion comes isolation. Before elevation comes pruning. God always removes what is unnecessary before He adds what is essential. This is not loss, it is alignment. Be especially cautious of compromise in this season. The enemy will try to offer shortcuts that look like opportunities. He will disguise distractions as open doors. He will tempt you to lower your standards just to feel movement again. But movement without direction leads to delay. God is not impressed by speed. He is pleased by obedience. What He has prepared for you cannot be obtained through compromise. Chosen one, pride and fear will both attempt to enter as the next season unfolds. Pride will whisper that you earned everything by yourself. Fear will whisper that you are not ready for what God is giving you. Both are lies. Everything you have is by grace, and everything God calls you to, He equips you for. The key is humility and dependence. Stay close to God, especially when things begin to work out. Success is often a greater test than struggle. Your spiritual sensitivity is increasing, which means discernment must guide your decisions. You will begin to notice when something looks good on the surface but feels wrong in your spirit. Trust that feeling. God is sharpening your ability to sense alignment. You are not becoming judgmental, you are becoming discerning. There is a difference. Discernment protects what God is building in you. As this year closes, God is also addressing your mindset. You cannot carry a survival mentality into a season of expansion. Constantly expecting disappointment will cause you to misinterpret blessings. Guard your thoughts. Speak life over yourself. Stop rehearsing what went wrong and start declaring what God promised. Faith is not denial, it is alignment with truth. Chosen one, there will be moments in the next season where responsibility feels heavy. You may question whether you are capable of carrying what God has entrusted to you. In those moments, remember this: God does not call the qualified, He qualifies the called. He has already accounted for your weaknesses. His strength will meet you where you fall short. This is also a season where consistency will matter more than intensity. You do not need dramatic faith moments. You need daily obedience. Small, faithful steps will produce lasting results. Do not despise routine. Do not underestimate discipline. God often moves most powerfully in what looks ordinary. As you release this year, let go of comparisons. Your journey will not look like anyone else's. God's timing for you is intentional. What appears delayed may be protected. What appears slow may be precise. Trust the process even when you cannot trace the progress. Chosen one, the final instruction before the year ends is this: stay alert, stay humble, and stay surrendered. God is closer than you think. The next season will reveal why this year had to unfold the way it did. Do not resist the pruning. Do not fear the responsibility. You are being prepared for something sacred, something purposeful, something that requires the refined version of you. What God is about to do will not just bless you, it will change the atmosphere around you. And that is why this season of preparation was necessary. Chosen one, as the new year draws near, God wants you to lift your eyes from what has been and fix them on what is about to unfold. You are not stepping into uncertainty, you are stepping into divine intention. God has already gone ahead of you, arranging what you cannot yet see, aligning people you have not yet met, and preparing opportunities that will arrive at the exact moment your spirit is ready to carry them. What feels unknown to you is already known to Him. This next season will come with restoration, not just of things, but of vision. You will begin to see your life differently. The experiences that once confused you will start to make sense. The pain that once felt pointless will reveal its purpose. God is not merely giving you answers, He is giving you understanding, and understanding brings peace. You will no longer question why certain doors closed, because you will see clearly what they were protecting you from. Chosen one, God is restoring your confidence, but it will not look like arrogance. It will look like quiet assurance. You will no longer need to explain yourself, defend your calling, or seek validation from people who cannot recognize what God placed inside you. You will walk with a calm authority, knowing who you are and whose you are. This confidence comes not from success, but from surrender. Your prayers are shifting. You will notice that you are no longer praying out of desperation, but out of alignment. Your words will carry weight because they are rooted in faith, not fear. God is inviting you into a deeper partnership with Him, where your desires begin to mirror His will. In this season, prayer will feel less like asking and more like agreeing with heaven. There will be moments when blessings come suddenly. Doors will open without long explanations. Opportunities will appear faster than you expected. When this happens, resist the urge to question whether you deserve it. Grace is not earned, it is received. God is repaying you for seasons of faithfulness that no one applauded. He is honoring obedience that went unnoticed. And He is restoring time that felt wasted. Chosen one, do not be surprised when people begin to respond differently to you. Some will be drawn to the peace you carry. Others will feel uncomfortable around the clarity you walk in. Do not take either personally. Light reveals, and not everyone is ready for what it exposes. Your assignment is not to convince, it is to remain obedient and loving without compromising truth. This next season will also bring closure. Some conversations will finally make sense. Some unanswered prayers will be answered in ways you did not expect. And some desires will fade, not because God denied them, but because He replaced them with something better. Closure is a gift. It frees your heart to fully embrace what is ahead without looking back. Chosen one, the heaviness you carried is lifting. The constant pressure to prove yourself is ending. God is reminding you that your value was never tied to your productivity, your progress, or your perfection. You are valuable because you belong to Him. From this place of security, you will move with greater clarity and peace. Do not fear responsibility in the coming season. God does not place weight on shoulders He has not strengthened. If He entrusts you with influence, leadership, or visibility, it is because He knows your heart can carry it. Stay grounded, stay teachable. Stay connected to God even when life becomes busy. Intimacy must remain a priority, not an afterthought. You may still face challenges, but they will not overwhelm you. You are no longer fighting for survival. You are standing in authority. What once shook you will now strengthen you. What once delayed you will now propel you forward. God has matured you through resistance. Chosen one, as you cross into the new year, walk with expectation. Expect clarity. Expect peace. Expect divine encounters. Expect growth that feels steady and secure, not chaotic. God is not rushing you. He is guiding you. The final reminder for this season is this: you are not late, you are not behind, and you are not forgotten. God's timing is perfect, and your obedience has positioned you exactly where you need to be. The chapter ahead will reflect the refining you endured. Take courage, take rest, take faith with you into the new year. What God has prepared will confirm everything He has been doing within you.